Nathan hit the dirt, blood running down his nose, as the mocking laughter of the Arcturian cadets rang in his ears. This pathetic human washout was a disgrace to the prestigious Galactic Enforcement Academy. Instructor Murloc towered over Nathan's crumpled form. His reptilian scales bristled under the harsh afternoon light. "Get up, Scorer. What a waste of a uniform. You humans are all the same, weak, slow, stupid. Why the Academy admitted you is a mystery to me." Nathan's face burned with humiliation as he staggered to his feet. The Arcturians were stronger, faster, more advanced in every way. But none of them had his iron will, his relentless drive to become the first human galactic enforcer. "Listen up, worms. Your final field exam is in 2 rotations. A hostage rescue scenario. Screw it up and you're out. Expelled. Done. We only want the best here." Murloc's predatory eyes locked onto Nathan. And clearly not everyone makes the cut. Nathan's blood ran cold. His future hung on this test. Failure meant the end of his dream forever. As the Arcturians sneered and shouldered past him, a fire ignited in Nathan's gut. He would show them what a human could do. He had a secret weapon, one the arrogant Arcturians would never see coming. The pain and humiliation would end now. It was time to unleash his true power. Nathan spent his waking hours in the Academy's training simulators, honing his skills and pushing his body beyond its limits. He trained in zero-gravity chambers, ran endless miles on treadmills, and lifted weights until his muscles screamed in agony. But no matter how hard he worked, his progress crawled at a snail's pace. One night, after a particularly brutal session that left him battered and bruised, Nathan limped back to his bunk. He collapsed onto the thin mattress, his body aching in places he didn't know existed. As he lay there, staring at the ceiling, a thought nagged at his exhausted mind. There had to be something more, some edge he could gain to level the playing field with the Arcturians. He dragged himself to the Academy's archives, determined to find anything that could help. Hours turned into days as Nathan combed through countless files, his eyes burning from the endless screens of data. Just as he was about to give up, a strange file caught his attention. It was heavily encrypted, buried deep within the archives, and labeled with a cryptic name, Project Titan. Nathan's curiosity overrode his fatigue. He spent the next several days hacking through the file's defenses, his fingers flying across the keyboard in a desperate dance. Finally, after countless failed attempts, the file opened. A video filled the screen, grainy and distorted. It showed a squad of human soldiers, their faces grim as they faced an overwhelming enemy force. The odds were stacked against them, and defeat seemed inevitable. But then something incredible happened. One of the soldiers' eyes began to glow a brilliant blue. His body crackled with energy as he surged forward, moving with speed and strength that defied belief. He tore through the enemy ranks like a force of nature, his enhanced abilities rendering their defenses useless. The video cut out abruptly, leaving Nathan stunned. He replayed the footage over and over, his mind racing with possibilities. The soldier had used something called Surge, an ability that unlocked the full potential of human physiology. If the video was to be believed, Surge allowed humans to far surpass even the Arcturians' capabilities. It was the edge he had been searching for, the key to his success. Nathan's heart pounded with excitement and trepidation. He knew he had stumbled upon a secret that could change everything, not just for him, but for the entire human race. He had to learn more about Surge, to uncover the truth behind this incredible power. From that moment on, Nathan's every waking thought was consumed by his quest to master Surge. He would stop at nothing to unlock its secrets and prove to the galaxy that humans were far more than the weak, inferior species they were believed to be. Nathan's mind raced as he pored over the encrypted files, desperate for any scrap of information about Project Titan and the mysterious power called Surge. He needed answers, and there was only one person he could turn to, his grandfather, a retired Special Forces commander with a shadowy past. He placed the call, his heart pounding as he waited for the connection. When his grandfather's gruff voice crackled through the speaker, Nathan wasted no time. "Grandpa, I need to know about Project Titan, about Surge. I found a video and—" "Stop right there, Nathan." His grandfather's tone was sharp, laced with warning. "You don't know what you're getting into. Project Titan was a mistake, a dark chapter in our history that's best left forgotten." Nathan pressed on undeterred, but the video showed a soldier with incredible abilities, strength, speed like nothing I've ever seen. I need to know how to unlock that power. There was a long pause and then a heavy sigh. Project Titan was a closely guarded secret, Nathan. It was a result of illegal human experimentation in genetic engineering and cybernetic augmentation. The goal was to create super soldiers to defend Earth from hostile alien threats. Nathan's eyes widened. "What happened?" It worked to an extent. The augmented soldiers were incredibly powerful, but the project was shut down due to ethical concerns and pressure from the galactic community. Some of the soldiers went rogue, disappeared into the criminal underworld. A chill ran down Nathan's spine. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because I want you to understand the danger you're in. Pursuing this knowledge could make you a target, Nathan. It could bring unwanted attention to humanity's past transgressions. You need to let this go." But Nathan couldn't let it go. The power of Surge was too tempting, too vital to his dreams of becoming a galactic enforcer. He thanked his grandfather and ended the call, his mind already racing with possibilities. Over the next few weeks, Nathan reached out to every black market contact he could find, searching for anyone with information on activating Surge. Dead end after dead end left him frustrated and desperate. Just as he was about to give up, a message appeared on his comm unit. It was from a mysterious figure named Ghost, claiming to be a former Titan operative with the ability to unlock Surge in others. Nathan's heart raced as he read the message. This was it, the break he had been waiting for. He quickly arranged a meeting with Ghost, his hands shaking with anticipation. As he made his way to the rendezvous point, Nathan couldn't shake the feeling that he was stepping into a dangerous new world, but the promise of unlocking his true potential, of finally proving himself to the Arcturians and the galaxy at large, was too great to resist. He would become a galactic enforcer, no matter the cost, and with the power of Surge at his fingertips, nothing would stand in his way. Nathan's heart raced as he stepped into the dimly lit bar, the air thick with the acrid smell of cheap liquor and stale smoke. Shady figures huddled in corners, their faces obscured by shadows. He scanned the room, searching for the man who held the key to his dreams. And there he was. Ghost sat at the far end of the bar, his cybernetic eye glinting in the low light. Nathan approached cautiously, sliding onto the stool beside him. "You Ghost?" Nathan asked, his voice low. The grizzled veteran looked him up and down, a slight smirk playing on his scarred face. "That depends. You the kid who's been poking around looking for Surge?" Nathan nodded, his mouth suddenly dry. "I need to know how to activate it. I need that power." Ghost leaned in close, his breath hot against Nathan's ear. "It's not that simple, kid. Surge isn't just a switch you flip. It requires intense training, both physical and mental, and there's more." He tapped the metal plate on his temple. "You need a neural implant, illegal, dangerous. It interfaces with your brain, allows you to access Surge, but it comes with risks, could fry your mind, leave you a drooling vegetable, or worse." Nathan swallowed hard, his determination wavering for a moment. But the memory of Murlock's taunts, the Arcturians' laughter, steeled his resolve. "I'll do whatever it takes." Ghost studied him for a long moment, then nodded. "All right, kid, but don't say I didn't warn you." Over the next few weeks, Nathan threw himself into Ghost's brutal training regimen. They met in secret, far from the Academy's prying eyes. Ghost pushed him harder than he'd ever been pushed before, forcing him to break through the limits of his human body. The neural implant was agony. Nathan screamed as Ghost drilled into his skull, the pain ripping through him like fire, but it was nothing compared to what came next. As the implant integrated with his brain, Nathan was assaulted by vivid hallucinations, nightmarish visions of blood and death, of the Arcturians tearing him limb from limb. He woke from fitful sleep, his sheets drenched in sweat, his heart pounding against his ribs. And then there was the rage. It boiled up inside him, a seething primal fury that threatened to consume him. He lashed out at Ghost during their training sessions, his fists fueled by an inhuman strength. Back at the academy, Nathan's performance deteriorated rapidly. His mind was elsewhere, his body exhausted from the grueling pace of his secret training. Murlock's suspicion grew with each passing day, his reptilian eyes narrowing whenever Nathan stumbled or failed. But Nathan pushed on, driven by his burning desire to unlock Surge. He was so close he could taste it. Just days before the field exam, Ghost declared him ready. They met in a secluded warehouse, the air crackling with tension. "Remember what I taught you," Ghost said, his voice grave. "Focus your mind, embrace the implant. Let Surge flow through you." Nathan took a deep breath, reaching deep within himself. He felt the power surging through his veins, the implant humming at the base of his skull. And then pain, blinding, searing pain. The implant overloaded, the feedback tearing through his brain like a white-hot knife. He screamed, his body convulsing as he collapsed to the floor. The last thing he saw before the darkness claimed him was Ghost's face etched with something like regret. Then nothing. When Nathan woke, he was alone. Ghost was gone, vanished into the shadows, and the implant was dead, a useless piece of metal embedded in his flesh. He dragged himself back to the academy, his body broken, his dreams shattered. The field exam loomed before him, a final, insurmountable obstacle. But as he stared at his reflection in the mirror, Nathan knew one thing with grim certainty. He had gambled everything on the power of Surge, and he had lost. Now he would have to face the consequences of his actions, alone. Nathan's eyes fluttered open, the harsh light of the Academy's medical bay stabbing into his skull. Every nerve in his body screamed in agony, as if he had been run over by a freight train. He tried to sit up, but a firm hand pushed him back down onto the bed. Murlock's reptilian face loomed over him, his expression a mix of anger and disappointment. "Don't move, Scorer. You're in enough trouble as it is." Nathan's heart sank as Murlock explained the situation. The Academy had discovered his illegal activities, his involvement with Ghost, a notorious war criminal. They had no choice but to expel him, effective immediately. The Galactic Enforcement Agency was already investigating, and imprisonment seemed inevitable. "But sir, the field exam," Nathan croaked, his throat raw and dry. "I have to pass, it's my last chance." Murlock's eyes narrowed. "You're lucky we're even allowing you to participate. One wrong move and you'll be in cuffs before you can blink." Nathan nodded, his mind racing. He had to succeed to prove that he was more than just a washout, a failure. He would show them all what he was capable of. The day of the field exam arrived, and Nathan found himself standing alongside his squad mates, including Zoran, his Arcturian best friend. They exchanged a tense nod, the weight of the situation hanging heavy between them. As the simulated hostage rescue began, Nathan's team found themselves facing an overwhelming enemy force. Blaster fire filled the air, and his squad mates fell one by one, until only he and Zoran remained. In that moment of desperation, something inside Nathan snapped. He felt the power of Surge coursing through his veins, the implant at the base of his skull humming to life. His eyes glowed a brilliant blue, and he moved with a speed and strength he had never known before. He tore through the enemy ranks, his fists and feet a blur of motion. The hostages were freed, the mission objectives completed. But something was wrong. The implant seared white-hot, his mind fracturing under the strain. Nathan lost control, his vision turning red with rage. He lashed out at anyone who came near him, friend or foe alike. And then, in a single, horrifying instant, he heard the sickening crunch of bone, felt the warmth of blood on his hands. Zoran lay dead at his feet, his neck twisted at an unnatural angle. Nathan had killed him, his best friend, in a blind, surge-fueled fury. The world went black, and when Nathan woke again, he was in chains. The GENA had taken him into custody, and the verdict was swift and merciless: life imprisonment for his role in the illegal Surge project and the death of Zoran. As Nathan sat in his cell staring at the cold metal walls, the weight of his actions crashed down upon him. He had sacrificed everything: his dreams, his friendship, his freedom, for the pursuit of power. And in the end, it had only brought him pain and suffering. Tears streamed down his face as he whispered a silent apology to Zoran, to everyone he had hurt in his blind quest for strength. He knew he could never undo what he had done, but he vowed to find a way to make amends, to honor Zoran's memory, even from behind bars. In that moment, Nathan realized that true strength wasn't found in physical prowess or illegal augmentations. It was in the courage to face one's mistakes, to strive for redemption, no matter the cost. And though the path ahead was dark and uncertain, he knew that he would walk it one step at a time. You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.